We are Suzi, Martin, and Julian, a family from Seattle departing the big city for a 3-day fall weekend, where we head to Port Angeles and Port Townsend near the Olympic National Park. By our normal standards for just the two of us, this would probably be easy, but it may not be so easy with a toddler. Join us as we explore Hurricane Ridge, eating our way through each town and stopping by a drive-through game farm.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
No more.
Our journey begins in downtown Seattle, where we board the ferry to Bainbridge Island. Alright, our next journey begins.
That's how he always is.
He never cries. Never ever. It's about a 40-minute ride on the car and passenger ferry from downtown Seattle to Bainbridge Island. And the ride offers one of the best skyline views of downtown. We made it to Bainbridge Island. From Bainbridge Island, it's a long but scenic 73-mile ride all the way to Port Angeles. It took us nearly 2 hours to get there. Well, after a long drive, we've arrived in our first location here in Port Angeles. We're actually going to stay here at this Red Lion Hotel. Hello! And it turns out there's an outdoor pool with a hot tub. Oh, he wants to get in. Juju, we gotta go get our room key first, and then we'll figure out what to do.
No planning. We took one.
Alrighty, we're open 20. Alright, we made it to our hotel room for the next couple of nights. Paid a little bit extra for a king bed rather than 2 queen beds because it's gonna be better for all of us to fit in this one bed, but really nice looking room.
We booked so late, I'm amazed we got anything, honestly. This whole peninsula here near the Olympic National Park is totally taken every summer, back to back.
People.
You see people?
Yeah.
What about cars?
Oh, a car.
You see a car?
Yeah.
I'd read some mixed reviews online. Some people, really didn't like the hotel so much, but actually the vast majority do. And so it does feel like the rooms here have been pretty refreshed. It's carpeted, but that's okay. But the furniture actually looks like it's fairly new. So I do like that about here so far. And it also looks very clean. So bonus points for that.
Are you hiding? This is what happens every time Julian sees a bed. I see you. I see you. I see you. Where are you?
Last time we were here in Port Angeles was almost a year ago for the Dungeness Crab Festival, which actually takes place, right where we're staying, right downtown. This time it's not the Crab Festival, but we're finding that a lot of the restaurants here actually have really good food. One such place was a quick walk away from our hotel, the Hook and Line Pub. We beat the dinner rush and sat down to enjoy the all-you-can-eat halibut fish and chips and some Maryland crabs. After dinner, we wandered a few blocks down to the wharf, where Julian discovered his first arcade. And so it begins. What did you find there, huh? Did you find an arcade? If you love a good nostalgic 90s style arcade, then look no further. But the real draw to this part of town is the ice cream. Welly specializes in New Zealand-style real fruit ice cream, and it's one of the best ice creams we've ever had in Washington State.
Punch. Chair. Sit down.
He's so cute. He goes, Daddy, sit down. Mommy, sit down. And then he runs away.
He gets up and runs away. Over to the right is the line to catch one of the ferries over to Canada. It's actually pretty close by if you go by ferry. We tried to do it once before, but it was fully booked out. And that might actually be the case for this weekend as well, because it is a holiday weekend. This is actually Labor Day weekend.
Hi, how are you? I need a second just to look at the menu.
The next morning, we were up bright and early to visit Hurricane Ridge, a mountainous area within the Olympic National Park. Although it's just a 17-mile drive south of Port Angeles, it's known for getting crowded, so it's best to arrive as early as possible. So we're on our way to Hurricane Ridge. It's actually quite difficult to get into this park because there's been various fires happening. Right now we're actually coming up on some traffic even, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. We're actually not sure as well if there's gonna be any parking space because there's very limited parking, and we're very unsure of their actual opening time. I had read that it was 10 o'clock, but now we're starting to wonder if it was actually earlier than that. The other thing is there was actually a fire. They said it was caused by lightning, like on August 28th. Today is September 2nd, so this is like the first day since that fire that they're reopening. So
and then there was a lodge that burned down through a fire, and then it was closed for a long time this summer, so yeah, I don't know.
Tricky place to get into. But last night Juju was actually saying, I love national parks. So hopefully we can take him to one today.
Yeah, we need to. He's very excited.
Are you excited? I'm actually getting vibes from that one time that we went backpacking in the Hoh rainforest. It was kind of the same deal. We drove up and there was this huge line and we weren't sure we were going to get in, but we had to meet people in there, so it was a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, back then we didn't have a 2-year-old, so right now that kind of thing is impossible, but I see the cars moving in the front there, so hopefully they tell us too, and if there's a gate, whether we can get in.
Yeah. Luckily, we didn't have to wait terribly long, and before long, we snagged one of the last parking spots at Hurricane Ridge. Well, we finally made it. Not gonna lie, it was a bit of a struggle, just because it was a long wait, and it's hard to do with a hungry toddler. But we made it, and he's got his meat and his ham, so we're actually enjoying a pretty good view right now. Mountain, that's right. Juju, we're in the national park. We made it. We made it. This is the view that we're enjoying. This is actually the view from the parking lot. As you can see, it is a rather small parking lot. But even getting here at, about 9:30ish, people are already leaving. So we got a spot relatively easily. But yeah, they did say that they're already metering the entrance for cars because it is getting busy already. So over there is the lodge that was originally here. It just burned down, a few months ago, earlier this year, which is unfortunate because it had a really stunning view. Like we said, there was a fire around here just a few days ago that they just put out. So big fire danger here, but this view is really stunning, and I can't believe that neither of us have been here before till right now. For breakfast, we stopped by this place called Fast Burritos and got a machaca burrito. So it's like beef and some egg and some tomatoes, and it's actually really good.
Water bottle.
Yeah, water bottle.
I had to remove one from his hands without aggravating it enough to bite him.
We saw that. You're right.
You're just gonna drive up. Yeah. Amos is just a little ways.
There's two deer.
Yeah.
They're running. What did you just see? Deer?
Deer on the front.
Yeah, you saw deer crossing the road, going down the hill.
Oh, a good deer.
Mm-hmm. The deer went down the hill.
Okay, we have managed to reach some semblance of normalcy up here and trying to go for a hike. I'm not gonna lie, Julian is being pretty hard to deal with right now because he's really excited and anxious because of the waiting we've had to do. And then he gets excited when he sees animals and goes crazy.
Yeah, so we've already seen quite a few animals, which, you know, for the average person, you're like, whatever. But for him, it's like, oh my God, we've seen, you know, a chipmunk, we've seen a couple of marmots, and a couple of deer, all within, you know, less than an hour of being here.
In the parking lot, really.
Yeah, he identified all of them. So
right.
That's really cool.
So the cool thing is we have had all these nature books for him, even one about the national parks, which features this park. And as soon as he heard about it, he was like, oh my God, I gotta go. Yeah. And then we get stopped at the gate, and then we gotta drive, and then we gotta park, and all that stuff just really grounded his nerves, you know, he was just pissed off. But now he's fine in the stroller and looking for animals. What's really cool is that in this park, on one side you're seeing glaciers, and on the other side is the sea right there, the Strait of San Juan de la Fuca, they call him. Yeah, so you have sea right there, and over there you have glaciers. There's some kind of demonstration here by the ranger. Children are touching some fur. Oh yeah, cougar pelt.
It's the only time I ever want to touch a cougar.
We did it. We did it. The nice thing about this park so far is that there are a bunch of paved trails. So we're sticking to that right now just because we have Julian in the stroller. And even though he can walk a far distance, he doesn't always want to do that lately, and we don't want to carry him. So it's a little bit easier for us to stick him in the stroller. And these trails are along this ridge, which is a little bit scary because if he makes even one wrong move, he can go over the edge. So it's relatively safe as long as you have a child that will listen and actually stay on the path. So this particular trail, as you can see, the pavement eventually ends and it's more of an uphill hike. We were told by some others that there are lots of roots, so it's not really ideal for a stroller. I'm sure it's relatively easy, but we're gonna pass on it today. But right here, you can see that there's a chairlift. We're not sure if it's functional, but obviously right now it's not. But if you decide to not go up that hilly trail, you can continue, and there's the pavement seems to continue around, so I'm assuming that this is a circle that should take us back towards the parking lot. So far, stroller friendly.
Yes, but I'm pushing 50 pounds up a mountain.
Well, now it looks like it's flattening out.
For now.
Maybe going downhill.
Good thing I'm hardcore, right?
Good thing our Nuna stroller is still going strong somehow. This stroller has been through so much. It's incredible that it's still working. It's actually never fallen apart. Even though people told us in Istanbul it would fall apart after that, and still going. You can go right and go right back to the parking lot, or you can go left.
And up a mountain with 50 pounds.
All right. I guess we're gonna choose the hard way.
This is the top point we're doing with the stroller. We'll see what we do later with the carrier.
So it actually does continue not too much further up, but it has been hard for us to get to this point. And honestly, the view is good enough from here, so we're pretty happy with how far we've made it for right now.
Well, beyond here, there's no space for the stroller at all. It's like
right.
a single file trail, so.
Well, we're attempting our next hike for the day. This is the Hurricane Hill hike. By our normal standards, for just the two of us, this would probably be easy, but it may not be so easy with a toddler.
Yeah, I'm already pretty mad about it. It's constant whining, to be honest. But we're trying to make the most out of it.
So the good thing about it is that the first quarter mile, or the first almost half mile, was supposed to be paved. So we're actually going to bring the stroller up till that point. Then we're probably just going to leave it there. We don't have anything valuable in it. And then switch to the carrier and carry him the rest of the way. or if he wants to cooperate, he can walk. But I'm not counting on that.
Well, they're showing cougar signs and stuff like that, so we don't want a child roaming freely here, truly. Already seen a bunch of men with the baby carriers, so people are doing it.
Yeah.
Well, all the men are doing it because they probably insist on being the ones, as do I.
Not just insist, it's like, he's heavy at this point, man. When he was like a year old, it was already kind of tough. But at this point, oh geez, that's a lot of extra weight.
And then you gotta wrestle with him as he's having tantrums up the mountain.
Don't say that. Don't foreshadow anything here. The National Park crew for the day. So far this trail is actually quite easy, but it turns out that there's a fork in the road, so if you want to make it a little harder, you can go this way. You can see that it's a unpaved trail, and I think we see the top. We were just wondering if that's where we were going to end up, but it kind of hugs the ridgeline up there, and it's quite a bit higher than where we want to go today. But, you know, if we didn't have a stroller, we'd probably be heading up this trail right here. Little river trail. I think we've said this in our other videos, but it's worth repeating again that at this stage of our lives, we're not looking for hardcore trails. We're actually looking for the total opposite. We're looking for family-friendly or even ADA trails, things that are friendly to wheels, because we are still walking around largely with the stroller. So anywhere that we can take the stroller makes our lives a lot easier. So, you know, before Julian arrived, we would have laughed at these trails and been like, we're not gonna go on these paved trails, that's not real hiking, but that's just not where we are in this phase of life right now.
Yeah, and if you have a quesadilla, to give him the winding stops too for a while, so everything gets great.
Bring snacks, bring food, that much is true. Not just for yourself, but especially for your kid.
Who needs the elliptical, right? This thing will give you a really sculpted ass.
The hill climb begins, but luckily it's still paved.
Big
mountain, yes. We're on a big mountain right now. Dada's climbing it for you.
Right.
We're documenting it, so one day we can be like, look at how much work Dada did for you.
That's right.
Among the many things.
So you'll carry me when I'm 85.
So you're sitting pretty eating your quesadilla while Dada's pushing you up a mountain, aren't you, lucky boy? But wow, Juju, look at that. Look at that mountain.
The mountain.
To the side of you.
Having.
Well, we're quite surprised at how much further this paved trail is going. The map said it was 0.4 miles of paved trail, but at this point it's feeling like it's a lot more. Potentially the whole trail, but I'm actually not sure. I actually think it's going to end right around the corner here, where it's going to start to go up a hill. Still climbing this hill. But look at that view. Well, the little sir fell asleep. So we're making all this work for ourselves now. But yeah, that's where we came from. Way down there. And it continues being paved, which is surprising, but much appreciated.
Good thing I've been doing all the pull downs, all the bench press, and the rowing, and all the rest of it in the gym. And now it's paying off. I feel my whole back flexing up here.
You don't really need a gym if you've got a kid and a stroller and a hill. There you go. But we passed quite a few dads with backpacks and their kids. One just told us that we're basically almost there. And it is indeed paved the rest of the way. So didn't even need this backpack, truly. Well, we're still going up this hill. The dad we saw was telling us it was just around the corner, and it's a few more corners than he was saying. But hey, we're still here. But we found a little split in the trail. It actually looks really pretty. It says it's, okay, it's 6 miles from here, so it's a bit longer than we'd want right now, but it goes to Elwha. And funny story, we actually, one of our first travel vlogs was about van life. It's over on our other channel. But we were in a van that we rented and it was called Elwa. So that was a cool beginning to our channel.
They're actually really good.
There we go. Ocean on that side, glacier on that side. You have both of them in the same 360 view, which is the wonderful thing about living in Washington State.
It's pretty awesome. This is definitely the end of the trail for us. This is where we're getting the view. There are some trails that split off and continue if you want to do that. But I would actually say this view is a little sad because you are able to see the ocean from that side, but you can also see where it was either a fire or some deforestation or a storm. But you can see how it's pretty bald down there. It is regrowing, but yeah, look at that. You can see the ships down there. Wow, stunning. And we really lucked out with the weather. Even though it is warm, the breeze is nice and chill, so good day for a hike. Still sound asleep. What a lucky boy he is.
Yeah, so I just completed the difficult task of going up a mountain with 50 pounds, and now I'm doing the difficult task of going down the mountain with 50 pounds.
Another stroller, another brave soul. Even though it is paved, it's actually almost more scary with a stroller with wheels, because you go over that edge just about any time. So you gotta be careful.
Yeah, this is actually very scary because one mistake and he's gone, and I'm not exaggerating. I have to make 0 mistakes here.
After spending the morning adventuring, we went back to the hotel to rest and to play.
A Juju. A Juju. That's Juju.
That's Juju. Is it Mommy and Juju?
Mommy and Juju.
Yeah.
Kissing.
Kissing. You know why I kiss you? Because Mommy loves Juju.
A window. It's a window.
After resting up in the hotel, we strolled to downtown Port Angeles, stopping by our favorite Pacific Northwest themed clothing and gift store, Moss. Juju. Then it was time to find some food. They're such big grapes.
Another one.
Okay.
Okay. Another one. Chewing.
Chewing.
Well, our original afternoon plan was to drive over to Lake Crescent and go for a little swim, but it's about a half-hour drive one way. And considering it's like 5:30 already, we were like, that's not really good use of our time. So instead, we're gonna take this little trail here. Actually, it's not little. It's the Olympic Discovery Trail. We're not gonna take the whole trail, just gonna take a little bit of it. But it walks along the beach here. And actually, our hotel is right behind us, so it's perfect. But if you look at this beach, I mean, we're not sure that we want to swim in it just because there are like those bigger ships out there. You can definitely smell the oil, but there is actually a little beach that has sand, and there are some kids swimming in it. Again, we're not going to do it ourselves, but if you really want to, you can definitely go swimming there.
This trail we're on, called the Olympic Discovery Trail, is actually very long, though it is not completely connected, but it's a project which a lot of groups, including the federal government, I think, is interested in. and making it like something like 100 miles when it's complete. Right now it has these sections which are marked as dangerous because they get on the highway practically. But once that is complete, we're talking about a very long trail that goes by the sea for a long time like that. And you can bike it, you can walk it, you can rollerblade it if you wanted to. You can get on a scooter with a battery. It's right next to what is called the Strait of San Juan de Fuca. And that makes it very pleasant. Oh, and yeah, there are ferries going out of here to Canada that have excited Julian a lot. One thing I want to point out, as you're on the trail, on the right side is practically a jungle for now. That is because we're right on the edge of the Olympic forest here, which is a temperate rainforest. Excitable toddler.
On the next episode,
Who's looking at us?
oh, we saw probably the most exciting thing so far, which are the bears.
Go away. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
No more.
So one thing that is a draw here are these Victorian-style buildings.
When we saw the entry for the city, there was a sign that said, "Welcome to Port Townsend, a Victorian art community." So that's what they market it as.
Yep.
And it is so.